Ladies and gentlemen, boy, do I have a game for you today. This has got to be one of the greatest games that I've ever played, and it is absolutely my favorite closed position game that I have played at all. So you got to stick around for this one. Okay, let's just hop into it. He starts off with e4. King's pretty simple. I play Scandinavian defense. I love the Scandinavian defense. I love the Scandinavian defense. You want to know why? Because it's so easy to learn, and it's fun to play. It creates dynamic positions. I absolutely love it. I played it hundreds of times. I love it. Okay, so I play Scandinavian. He doesn't take though, which is very common. Now, there's a couple lines here. You can go here, which is the best move. I like to move my bishop out, which is what I do. Stockfish approves. He plays the best move, which is to bring the pawn out and solidify the center, which makes sense. Now, I could have started chipping away at it, but I didn't want to do that. Instead, I just solidified my center. Everything is real simple now. I got this bishop out. In the future, I can play this and get the bishop here and the knight behind it, and it's looking absolutely beautiful. And then he plays here, which is real simple. Just developing a knight, bring it out, got my pawn. This is dangerous. I'll tell you why. Because if you mess this up, it can go badly. Like, for example, he plays here, I play here, he goes here. He has this really powerful pawn that I don't have any pawns left to kick from that square. I can't take anything with it. I have to use pieces to get rid of this, and that is dangerous. I have lost many games like this before, and at a low elo like mine, that is very hard. So I so this is a dangerous move. Yet I decided to play it. Why? Because I like it. Because if it goes here and lets my knight out, it's basically a London position, except it's a London position with everything you could have ever wanted. It's literally perfect. You have all, control of this square. You control this diagonal. You can get this out. You get a bishop here looking this way at the king. You can get your knight out behind it. It's literally perfect. But that's not what ends up happening, of course. He moves his knight out, attacks my bishop, and forces it somewhere. I could put it here, attack this, but that's a stupid move. Don't do that. So obviously, only move it back. If he takes, what happens is he opens up my rook. And opening a rook this early, giving it a nice line of attack, is not really what you want to do. So instead, he goes here. Now I had a couple moves. I could just like keep developing. I could have developed this knight. I could got this out and played against his center, but I decided to lock the position. Why? Because his knight is here. It's the only piece he has developed, and he doesn't have great more lines. This is staring into this. It's just staring in the pawns and with no clear way out, because here it also stares in the pawns. Mine is staring in the pawns, but I can move it and get lines of attack. So I thought that this knight being here was trash. And the only thing to do is move it back and try to reroute it around and maybe throw out a pawn and then take it with a knight, get the knight over here, you know. But that would be insane. So what did I do? I pushed this pawn up to try and restrict his knight. That was my idea. And honestly, I think it worked pretty well because he goes back. He moves out here with the knight. If we look back, he moves out here, and then a few moves later moves back without doing anything. I think that that's just a waste of tempo. And so now finally I throw this forward. Looking, he can't really do much here. So I throw it forward. Now, I don't know why this isn't an accuracy. Very simply put, it defends it pretty well. I don't take, I just solidify this attack. Now here I could have gone here, which probably would have been a good move, but I didn't. Here I don't really want to take with this. If I take with this, it separates these pawns here, which will be important. So you don't want to do that. Instead, I move this here. He moves this knight out, simply developing, possibly looking to go here, and defending this knight. Sorry, I have the hiccups right now. That's what you're hearing. I'm very sorry. I just finished drinking some tea. It gave me some headaches. Jesus Christ. I said hiccups. I can't speak today. I'm so sorry, guys. I put this pawn forward, basically just asking the bishop a question. I'm like, why are you here? Are you going to take my knight? Let me capture. Or are you going to retreat? And the bishop retreats. Now, here I notice that these pawns are all together. And I realize I can throw them forward. I can just here, which is normally a bad move. Normally, you don't want to chase away bishop. But to restrict my opponent, I go here, and then I can go here. My opponent cannot look over here anymore. This is blocked off. And this patrols the dark squares. So basically, this side of the board over here is cut off to my opponent. He has to attack me over here where I have a bunch of things pointing already. And I can develop over here, and everything's going to be good for me. That was my idea. He moves back, which is obviously you had to do that. Now this bishop just trapped. I mean, you have to move out the queen and then bring it, and then probably move a knight somewhere, and then if to bring it just your queen and your thing to the back party. So for all real purposes, this is blocked for a long time, which means that this bishop isn't worth that much. I killed his bishop without killing his bishop. Love it. I bring my bishop up. Again, simply developing, try to castle. Next should be getting this knight out. Oh, he castles. I bring that out so that I can castle. Wonderful. He goes here. Probably just making a little safe face for the king, even though there's almost no way I can get to the back rank right now. And then I castle. Now, technically, this is like thrown forward, so it has a little bit of room here, but it doesn't really do much. It's still nice to have it out of the way, though. However, what it did is that it leaves the king kind of open to attack, since this is the side that I have decided to leave open while this is completely locked. Castling this way would have just left a lot of attack open space around the king. I don't like that. If I was an engine, maybe I would have liked that. But I castle this way. Yeah, I've just moved the queen over. Now, here again, I could have gone here. I could have gone right here, and I feel like that would have solved a lot of problems, would have put a lot of pressure, and it would have been hard for him to move, but it didn't go there. I moved back because I didn't see him any moves here. He just moves the queen over. I moved back. I'm protecting this pawn, just in case. Also because I was scared of this going here and then taking, and I felt like that was a little dangerous. And then, sure enough, he does come here, which is, I think, the second time this knight has been to this square, which is just stupid. It's insane, honestly. I was concerned that he was going to go here, even though that runs into this. But just, like, try to get into my position somehow. So I solidify it. Stockfish doesn't like it. Shouldn't have been concerned, but this was really his only file to attack me on. And so I just wanted to make sure it was extra secured. So now this is all gone. The one thing it does do is it traps my knight. Yeah, it just traps, like, this knight cannot move anywhere. Nothing can really attack it. The queen can't get it, like, unless this knight moved back and then the queen came here just to attack my knight. You couldn't do too much. So, but this knight is also dead along with this bishop. So, two dead pieces that aren't dead. That's why I find this position so interesting. And then queen comes in. I see his idea, of course. It's, again, just to take this and then put extra pressure here, and then, yeah, not very smart. Because there's nothing there. There's literally this is a draw according to computer. It's like 0.1 for white, but there's no way to break through unless you, like, move here and here. And that's what my opponent does in a few moves. I slide over, and then he throws this forward. Now, I think he should have gone here instead, but he goes here because if I take like this, then suddenly this I have to deal with along with this, and just now I can move this up, and then he can start moving his pawns down, and then I'm gonna have this to deal with, and suddenly the attack is very real. So I couldn't let that happen. Instead, I move back to protect it. Because then, once I take, I'll have this protect. And I can even move this back if I want to get some extra protection. And that's exactly what happens. He comes, brings the bishop, tries to attack me. I slide over just to make sure that everything here was good. Which is apparently the best move. Good job, me. I bring this out. I bring this up just so I can, if this can come back if it needs to. Very simple. Yeah, because I was worried about knight here. We could attack here. Um, I'm not really sure why he would take his very good knight for my bishop. I just was concerned about it. And he does actually come here, which is why I was concerned. So I move here. Again, I shouldn't have been. I shouldn't have been because this. I'm sorry. Let's say I just play a random move. I go here. That's a terrible move, but I shouldn't have been concerned about this. Pretend the pawn is still here. Actually, maybe I should have because you can go like here and then take this and just. But you understand. I don't know how great of a move that was, moving back, but I liked it. I was proud of it. That's why I'm showing you this game. Let's bring forward. It takes the knight. Now, here's the thing. I realized that I should have taken the last move. Last move, I should have taken this when it jumped here, but I missed it. And so this move, I decided to take it. Why? Why do I decide to take it? This is free now. So this knight can come back, which means that this now blocks anything from coming this way down this, which means I'm perfectly safe here. And this pawn is protected by everything. And it can even come to be protected by this in a minute. This could slide over. And suddenly, the white stares into its own pawn, so there is no sacrifices that can be made against me. It's just, I have a fortress. You can't get through. And so that's why I take, and I bring the knight back. And this, it's just game over. He tries to start throwing things forward, but it doesn't really work. He's insanely low on time. He has 17 seconds left at this point. Now, he does take my bishop, which I wanted him to do, which is why I went here so I could recapture, and I do. And now here, this, I capture him. He's up a point, but here's the thing. If I takes this, then he doesn't have a queen, and how is he going to fight with a queen in 6.2 seconds? He's not. And ta-da, with 5 seconds left on the clock, I go here. He throws his pawn forward, but it does nothing. And here he resigns. Actually, he runs out of time. He resigns because he's going to run out of time. But still, what a wonderful game. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it this far into the video, please subscribe. It helps so much. And like the video because that's what gets me through the YouTube algorithm is likes. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.